show. The second biggest is the Bronze Fury, who is almost 100 years of age and almost as big. But how big really is he? Here in this video we will assess the size of Vermithor by assessing its appearance in the last episode of the show, and also by looking at the concept art as well as taking the book definitions into consideration. And when we are done with all that, we will pitch them one against another and see if the Bronze Fury is in fact more powerful and more fearsome than the old Vhagar. So let's get to it, guys. It scales with a predominantly green coloration and accents of yellow and bronze. So with a body size of 500 feet, the estimated wingspan would range between 900 to 1000 feet across, meaning 270 to 300 meters wide. However, observations from the episode where Aemon bonded with Vhagar indicates a dragon head with a young Targaryen nearby, appearing to be around 20 to 25 feet long, just the head. And extrapolating this, we would suggest or estimate a body length of approximately 80 meters or over 260 feet, and consequently, the wingspan would be in the ballpark of 150 meters or 500 feet, but that's just our estimate. 48 AC, ranking as one of the largest dragons alongside Balerion and Vhagar. As the events of the Dance of the Dragons unfolded 80 years later, Vermithor, approaching a century in age, had become the second largest dragon, and no other dragons comes close to its size, other than the bigger Vhagar. Despite being a fearsome beast, he had grown accustomed to human interactions, and by the reign of Aegon II, Vermithor was in Dragonstone along with the other wild dragons and also with Silverwing. He was brooding there, just chilling and awaiting another person of Targaryen bloodline to bond with. In the book, Vermithor's size is described as surpassing the combined size of Seasmoke and Tessarion, both of whom were noted to be only one-third the size of Vhagar. The reason for Vermithor's exceptional growth was attributed to its residence in Dragonstone along with wild dragons, not to mention its genetics. So this allowed him more freedom, ample food, and the ability to choose his own lair. Unlike the dragons affected by the dragon pit, unfortunately, which unintentionally caused the dragons to shrink in size, Vermithor did not suffer from this or such constraints. Considering Seasmoke was one-third the size of Vhagar, and also stated to be less than half the size of Vermithor, this implies that Vermithor's size ranged from 70% that of Vhagar's at the very least, up to 80% of Vhagar's size at the most. Now, how big is Vermithor in the show? So in the last episode of Season 1, we got the chance to see the Bronze Fury in a cave being courted by Daemon Targaryen. At first it looked to be almost as large as Vhagar, but upon close inspection it seems to be that the Bronze Fury was around the same size as was stated in the books, therefore around 70 to 80% of the size of Vhagar. Now, if Vhagar was 150 meters or 500 feet long, as officially stated, that means Vermithor would be 105 to 120 meters long, or 344 to 400 feet long. Its wingspan would therefore be 750 to 800 feet wide, or 230 to 244 meters across. Now going to our more reasonable estimates, if Vhagar was 80 meters or 260 feet long, that would mean that the Vermithor dragon was around 56 to 64 meters, or 183 to 210 feet long, and with a wingspan of around 400 feet wide, or 122 meters. This means that to the casual man on King's Landing streets, Vermithor would appear to be as big as Vhagar, and only if they were seen together side by side would the size difference really show. Now, how powerful is Vermithor? Contrary to its namesake and popular belief, the Bronze Fury wasn't actually really that furious. He was actually tolerant of humans, unlike the wild dragons, which is why he bonded so closely with King Jaehaerys the Wise, the old and peaceful king. Vermithor, before the Dance of the Dragons, was never recorded to have been in any battle against any other dragon, with his flames only being let loose against wildlings and other human armies and ships. Therefore, his battle experience is pretty low, although his size makes up for his lack of combat prowess. His only dragon-on-dragon battle would be in the second Battle of Tumbleton, where he was attacked all of a sudden by Seasmoke from above as he was about to take flight. Nevertheless, he still dominated the fight, and even with Tessarion jumping into the fray, he was able to tear off the head of the ashy grey dragon, and in the chaos of the fighting caused mortal wounds to Tessarion as well. But this battle would also cost him his own life as well in the process. Now, can Vermithor take on Vhagar in a fight? Well, this depends on different factors, you see. Size doesn't really always mean a win in the case of the Targaryen dragons. Vhagar was killed in fighting Caraxes, a dragon half her size. Vermithor was also killed fighting Seasmoke and Tessarion, which are pretty small compared to him. Vhagar is bigger than Vermithor, of course, but not really by a lot. She also has more battle experience than him, which is a great advantage, especially in fights against other dragons. But Vermithor is younger, meaning more stamina and fury. He is also a male dragon, which makes him more rageful when provoked. And then since he is a bit smaller, he would be faster and more nimble, and this tiny difference in agility would make up for the slight gap in size. So the Bronze Fury might come out as a winner 30% of the time, and 30% of the time he would lose, and the rest 40% of the time they would just kill each other. Now I hope I've answered the question. Is Vhagar or Vermithor stronger? Well, it depends on the situations. They might just kill each other. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel for other monster content. Now like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, fam.